Okay, great. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Facebook Live / Zoom version. uh, so, it's me, your girl, Helen Edwards, and I've got Janae Strickland Nunn with me today.
Hi. We're figuring out this
And
technology. It's so amazing. I love it. I love it.
yeah, the technology is pretty awesome. Let me see if I can. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can edit.
I'm sharing it now. So you don't have to do
Oh, you're
anything.
able to? Okay,
Yep, that's
perfect.
why I'm looking down at my phone because I'm sharing it. I got
For
you,
me,
girl.
it's got like a little delay on Facebook. So
Okay.
here we go. All right. So we're sharing because sharing is caring. So share, everybody. This is Janae was actually my guest on Sexy Freedom Media podcast what last month, right? Wasn't that
Yeah.
long ago?
It was last month. I think it
Yeah.
was.
And we just had this extraordinary connection and conversation, both off recording and on recording. And it felt like we would never stop because it was just so good. And it
Yes.
was just things that we wanted to keep talking about. So this time we decided to bring it to our audience. And the subject is on women, sisterhood. And this is a great month to do it since it's Women's History Month.
hmm So I put on my purple lipstick because Women's History Month, the color is purple.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, represent. We do it right. Women always, well, let me not say always, but when we put our minds to it and, we're like, hey, let's get it done, we get it done. We really do.
Yes.
hmm And so I thought this was amazing. So I think this conversation stemmed from, it was a question I asked you about sisterhood when we recorded on my show. And you were like, Janae, that's a good topic. And I was like, yeah, it is. And here we are.
Yeah, and the topic was about sisterhood. And first of all, Janae, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Oh, so my name is Janae. I am a teacher, author, and podcaster. My platform is called Confessions from a Red Couch podcast. It's a podcast and blog all about improving the relationship with yourself so you don't take your trash to others because no one wants your unresolved issues. So we really deal with mental health, self-care, self-love, and self-awareness, and just you know, really building a great relationship with yourself. Because once you love you, then you could tell other people how to love you. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. And then I also have the book that I have out. It's called The Journey Back to Loving Yourself. And it is the second edition. And it is a guide to self care, self awareness, and self love. So it's just like a step back to help you refocus yourself in your life and making sure that you're getting what you need and all that you need in your life. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that is
I love it. So one of the things that's very near and dear to my heart is I do women's retreats. I know when I first started into the industry of helping others, I'll call it,
me.
I started talking to both men and women, adult men and women. And I even worked, prison yoga project with men and women. And but when you hone in and just, direct your focus on to just the women, especially when you are a woman and you can
Mm-hmm.
relate to them or
Mm-hmm.
to us, there's so many things that we go through as women. And I feel like sisterhood is so powerful. And it's not just with your friends, but it's just authentically connecting with, just like how we connected.
Mm-hmm. True. And it is, it's like, I like to say it's most of the time it's a spiritual connection. Your spirit knows like spirits or things that you need. Your spirit
Mm,
kind of tells you, hey, this person is somebody that you need in your life, and you connect with them and you hook up with them. And At times, sometimes people say it takes time to get to make that connection. But I think if your spirit knows what it needs and recognizes that that person has what you need, then I don't think it really takes that much time. I don't know if that makes sense, but it
Yeah.
can be instantaneous, like, girl, I need you in my life,
Right, right. I like that you said that because, okay, so let me just ask you this, because there's a lot of women out there or, in people who don't feel like they have a tribe or a support group or
Mhm.
people to really call on. What is your suggestion for, or advice maybe for anybody that feels like they don't have anybody in their circle or in their corner?
So this is gonna sound so crazy, but join. So social media is great for that, and it's gonna sound weird, and just listen to me and roll with me, all right? So social media has a way of connecting people who need to be connected. And there's so many groups out there, so many amazing groups. So there's great groups on, especially on Facebook. There's great groups and there's horrible groups. But if you could find a group on Facebook that you see that women in there are like-minded like you, then that would be a great way to start. It's hard, and women who don't feel like a tribe, usually it's because they experienced some trauma with women in their past, which I get it. I mean, I do get it. As much as we can be loving and nurturing, we could be treacherous too. And so yeah, treacherous. But it if you don't feel like you have that around you, social media will help you. That's one of the ways we connected. But also, I have two really good, well, I have more than two really good friends. But I have this sister tribe that I met through a Facebook group. And I didn't think our connections would get as strong as they are, but the bond that we have is amazing. And we literally met each other through a Facebook group. So don't
Mhm.
knock it until you try it. You just just got to kind of
Yeah.
put yourself out there and look for it.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you also mentioned that women can be treacherous.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, look, here's the plain truth. Not everybody's going to get along with everybody. Doesn't
Mm-mm.
matter what you are, who you are, where you're from.
So true.
And it's not that you have to have enemies. It's just that sometimes you got to have boundaries and maybe you
Yeah.
don't click with some people. And that's okay. And that's something that if you're a people pleaser, which I used to be, that's something
Hmm.
I had to learn how to let go of. Is not
Yeah.
everybody's going to like me.
So
I'm
true.
not always going to like everybody. I'm not going to agree with everybody. Do I got to be ugly and nasty about it?
Mm-mm.
No, because then you're going to track that nasty and ugly back. So just, bless and keep moving forward until you will eventually like will attract like.
Hmm. That's true. My grandmother used to say, "You won't be everybody's cup of tea, and you won't." And you won't be everybody's bourbon. You won't be everybody's favorite anything. And you just have to be okay with it. Like you said, like attracts like, and you're not for everybody, and you don't want to be for everybody. That's the way that I'm so happy you talked about boundaries. That's the way that we set boundaries. If you're for everybody, then really, what kind of boundaries do you have for yourself? How are you Boundaries are there to make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're staying, not only are you staying on the okay, but the people who you surround yourself are staying where they need, being where they need to
Right.
be. So
Yes. Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay if you're not for everybody. You just, it is what it is.
Yeah. You guys hear that? You ladies hear that? I think it's a very powerful thing when you can step into your feminine and masculine and that combination and that balance with who
Mhm.
you are, especially for females, since we're talking more directly about females, me being a female. One of the things I can offer that I do often offer is the suggestion of learning your hormones,
Mm,
learning about them, learning about your hormones, because our cycles are so up and down weekly, daily.
yes. Yes.
They can make us crazy.
Definitely can. It's crazy because we're talking about all this, and I have been speaking to coworkers about this and other women, and we are around the same age group, and once you hit a certain age, it's like your body's like, you thought you had it all correct, not today,
Yeah.
not right now. And you're like, what is going on? And you get hot flashes, or you're, like you said, you get angry, or you're moody, or you're even tired, and sometimes you can't explain it. You try to tell people like, I am not okay. And I think it's
Yes.
good to have other women around who are kind of going through the same kind of phase you are in life, so that you can communicate with each other about that. And those are topics that I think we don't talk about enough. When you bring up
Right.
hormones, we don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about the changes, the physical changes that our bodies go through, and how, there are ways to fix it, but there's always also, we need to accept that everybody goes through it. We're not the only ones.
Right, definitely. And I think that's something that our, society in a whole has kind of lost is, back in the ancient times, there's this really cool, and if you haven't heard of red tent, it's pretty amazing. Red tent is this type of thing that used to happen. I'm probably going to butcher this, but it's something that used to happen way back in the day, like ancient times. And it was called the red tent because women, when they were on their periods or menstrual cycles, they would be sent to the red tent where all the women would gather, and they would talk. The elder women would talk to the younger women, and they would tell them what's going on. And I think there's a huge disconnect now with the older women and the younger women. And I think it happened when it was all about, protecting your child's innocence, protect your kids, which is, yes, I mean, I have a kid myself.
Yes.
You want to protect them, but you also don't want to do them a disservice and not tell them what's going on with their bodies. And sometimes we don't tell them because we don't know ourselves.
That's right there. What you said is just, that's it. And and if you don't know, that's fine. But at some point, we have to start asking questions again. We do
Yes.
need to talk to our elders about it. And our elders don't need to be, tell us, girl, don't worry about that. No, I am worried about that. They
Yes.
can't be so dismissive about what's going on, because we're really coming to them, asking them, what's happening? I need to know to make sure I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
So that information, I feel like it was I don't know what happened, where that stop came, where we stopped, the elders stopped educating girls on their bodies, or elders stopped telling us, accept your body. There was a time where people were just saying that, accept your body, it's yours, instead of shaming
Yes.
us or telling us we need to lose weight or whatever. We've moved away from that into, don't talk about that. We don't want to talk about that, keep that silent.
Right.
And
Yes.
it's a disservice. It is.
Yes. So we talk a lot about, I think women are headed in the right direction. Like we're getting loud, we're standing together. I see a lot of activists out there. I commend you. But I think also we're doing a lot of outwardly stuff with our physical, like, and I think it's beautiful. It's awesome. But we also need to look at the inside, like the hormones, our emotions, what we were talking about earlier, creating boundaries, mental state, spiritual states, things like that we can do, that we actually have a little bit, different than our counterpart, that we need to focus more on. We got to spend more energy on that.
We do, because men, they have testosterone, big whoopity do.
Well, women actually have a little bit of that too.
Yeah, we do. Exactly. We have that. We have estrogen, you have all these things going around that just make us this wonderful being that we are. Because women, you are wonderful. If you don't love who you are, I'm telling you, embrace it, because you are amazing. Okay. All right. That's my
Yes.
But you are. Women, we are freaking amazing. All right. But you are correct. Like, we have so much stuff going on. And if we don't get in tune with that, then, it just kind of, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's the part that you're missing.
Yeah, and I can agree a little bit with that, because I remember when I was younger. I grew up with my mom and single mom of 5 kids. No, only my brother was the only boy in our family. But so I grew up with a tribal woman from the get-go. But I always was the tomboy. You know, I have more guy friends than girls because I only get along with men more than girls. And there's a lot of us out there that say that. I'm not putting you down or anything, but what I'm saying about this, for me, what was the disconnect with me and why I lean more towards the masculine was because there was a disconnect to me in my feminine part self. And now that I'm feeling really like good about both parts, it is awesome to be on the journey of a woman.
It really is. It is.
Not all the time. I mean, there's those down moments, but
Sometimes
even those moments,
yeah,
even those moments are like, whoa, what an adventure. You know, like I almost beat somebody up.
And I didn't. I stopped myself.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I stopped myself. But what was wrong with me? That was crazy. Whoa, what a story. You know?
I did it once. But he crossed my boundary. It was a guy. He crossed the boundary. Yeah. And I was younger, so
yeah. More control now.
Yeah, more control, more, stability, and knowing how to get out of places now, But no, I liked it. And I was the same way when I was growing up. I was very athletic. So I was around more athletic females, more athletic women, and so I never, for a long time, and my dad raised me as like his boy because I'm the oldest. So for a long time, I thought being soft was not for me because, I'm strong and we don't cry. We cuss and we don't cry, and you be strong.
Yeah.
Out of that, and I learned, I was like, I can be strong and I can cry, and that doesn't make me any less of, a strong woman. That probably helped me a lot more. Be able to emote, feelings and recognize emotions and all of that. So I think that journey was into where I am now was just like, oh, so I can cry and it's okay. And if somebody teases me, then I can tell them to shut up and keep crying. I can do what I want.
Power of voice.
I can do what I want.
So there's something I want to talk about that I don't think a lot of people talk about, that I find that women especially kind of get caught up in. And this is the subject of jealousy, cattiness, and comparison. Those 3 things that will ultimately take you out and blindside you sometimes. And we all have dealt with it, and sometimes still do. Some of us are still doing it.
Yeah, it's hard. Especially, like I think I saw more of a rise of it when reality TV really got popular. There was always the mean girl clique, but then it seemed like when shows like, Real Housewives or what else would come on? Even Real World. I remember when Real World first came out. I'm telling my age.
Kardashians.
Yeah, like when Real World first came out, but when it started getting popular and people could use it to, promote their platform, and the Kardashians, like all of that stuff, it seemed to be that whole mean girl cattiness aspect seemed to be promoted a lot more than sisterhood, like actually coming together. And I think that really resonated with me. That's why I don't really watch reality TV, because I don't like that. Like, to me, it's not reality. that's that's something for the cameras. But we can get into this jealousy when you don't have to be jealous of your sister. You don't even have to compare yourself to her. You don't know what her journey was to get to where she is. And, at some point, you might not even want to go through her journey,
Right.
So, I mean, that whole jealousy aspect and cattiness and pettiness, I think for women, we could get a whole lot further. I'm not saying we're not far, because we have came a very long way, especially women of color. We have came a very long way to get where we are. But if we could just cut down on some of the sometimes the crabs in the barrel mentality, when one sister is moving up, we shouldn't look down on her. We should be like, okay, girl, what you do? And throw your hand up,
Yeah.
or throw your hand up. What did you do? Help me out. Instead of saying, oh, she did that because she knows so and so, or she act like she all cute because she got da 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 da. No, baby, ask me my real story, or ask her real story, and she could tell you all the things that she triumphed over just to get where she is, and you might learn something rather than being jealous.
Yes. Yep. Hey. That's really good advice, and I would hope that anybody listening or watching this really takes it, because I mean, I for one used to be horrendous with jealousy. I mean, jealousy, just like I'd snap, especially in relationships, just snap, and I would self-destruct. And one of the things I'm really trying to do, I call it taming the dragon, is just, I say to myself, like, where is this coming from? Like, are you feeling self-doubt? Are you feeling devalued? Are you angry with yourself? Do you feel like you're not beautiful? Because if I start asking myself these questions, I'll find the source of it. And if I'm like, yeah, I feel ugly, then I'm like, okay, what do we got to do to get you really hot right now? Like, let's go put on some lipstick. Let's go do some twerking. Like, let's figure this out, because I want to make me feel good. So I don't have to be jealous. So I don't have to compare, And like you said, you don't watch those shows. I'm the same way. I really try to protect my throne, protect my mind, body, and spirit. So when I do like to watch Netflix and chill, but I'm very careful for what I watch. So if I allow my mind to open up and watch it for entertainment purposes only, great. But if it starts affecting me and I start hearing myself with those nasty thoughts, like jealousy, I'm like, click, done,
That's enough. Yeah, that's
Yep.
enough. I'm good. I'm good.
Yep.
And I can say I'm the queen of petty. I still work on my petty, but I am the queen of I can I am the queen of petty and throwing shade. But like you said, I started to think about, is it really helping somebody or is it hurting them? Like me being petty towards somebody, like, I don't, sometimes it happens. Like you said, it's taming the dragon. I'm learning. But how is being petty to another woman helping me? That self-reflective part, like you said. Like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I need to tell her about herself and point out her flaws? What don't you like about you right now? And it's that self-reflective part. It's putting it back on yourself. What's wrong with you that you can't just, be happy for her? What's wrong? What's going on?
Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh. Well, we wanted to make this quick for everybody because we know everybody's attention span is like super small. Just kidding. You guys got big attention spans like me, which is still super small. No, but I wanted to come on here and do something with you, and I'd love to do something again. But this is, any words out there, anything you want to say, like that you were thinking about saying today, Janae?
Really find your tribe. They're out there, and don't give up, and don't let anybody stop you from pursuing that. Sometimes, like we were just talking about the petty and the cattiness and all that, everybody's not like that. Every woman is not like that. There's a small amount of women who do that, and that's because they're not acknowledging trauma and hurt that they're feeling. So don't let others and the way they feel about themselves affect how you feel about you and making friends. Make new friends. You'll be surprised at what just putting yourself out there gets you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just jump on her bandwagon real quick and just add to that because I love everything you just said. But, also just remember that we all as women, especially, the younger and getting older, we've got these cycles and they change swiftly, weekly, daily. So maybe if she's upset about something, your friend's upset, or your mom or whoever the other woman is upset and grouchy and snappy, bitchy maybe, it has nothing to do with you. It's
Mm-mm.
everything to do with them. And maybe you triggered something,
Mhm.
just step away, walk away, and just because you got your own shit, you got your own stuff to figure
Exactly.
out, just
Exactly.
bless and let go.
Mhm.
It's always a new day.
It is. It's always. I'm going to add this, and then I'm gonna start talking. My best friend, one of my best friends, when she met me, I think I'm gonna tell you, I was on my cycle, and that's when I was having horrible cycles. So I was real snappy, and I snapped at her, and she tells the story. I don't even remember snapping at her, but she told me she thought I was so mean then. And then
Mhm.
when she got to know me, like she's like, no, you are my sister. She was like, once I got to figure out like it wasn't just directed towards me, it was because of something that you were going through internally. She was like, I realized I she said it made her kind of look at people a
Mhm.
little bit different and not internalize folks' moods as, them, deflecting on her, but more so, the things that they're going through in their life. So yeah,
Yeah. You know
guys,
what? I don't want to leave it at that. I know I said we were going to end this real quick, but I think this is a really important subject real quick because I
yeah.
don't want to leave it at just that, because it's not just, let the other person deal with their
Mhm,
cycle and their moods. What
mhm.
can you do? What do you do, Janae? And then I'll say what I do to
Mhm.
take action to help yourself when you
Right.
do get in those dark places.
So when I get in my dark places and I start to see it, I've done a lot better in my 30s than what I was before. I acknowledge it and I tell people, guys, I'm not having a great day today. Um,
Mm,
I'm gonna try to boost my mood. I love y'all so much. I promise you I do. But I just, I can't do it today. Now it's a lot better because like I said, I was dealing with some health issues, some fibroids.
mhm.
So they were not off my system. But now, I don't get as low as I used to. But even when I'm having a bad mental health day, I reach out to my friends and I tell them, guys, I need some love right now because I don't have it in me, to kind of carry. And it's not that I'm putting my burden on them. I'm just letting my
Mhm.
friends know that I need some love right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good that and again, the power of voice,
Mm-hmm.
opening up your throat chakra and standing in your power with your voice and being heard, and also
Mm-hmm.
asking for help. And sometimes strong women, strong men, strong anybody, they're afraid to ask for help. And I think that's really important that you said that that's what you do, especially with the
Mm-hmm.
people that you love and support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm very much the same. I don't often ask for help as much as I want to,
Yeah.
um, because I'm a fixer. I'm a
Same.
fixer. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna fix this,
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell my boyfriend, because he lives with me, or I live with
Yeah.
him and we live together. And I don't want him like taking it personal. So I'm always like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so this is what week I'm in, and I'm about to be crazy.
Yeah.
And I'll forewarn and pre-warn and all the warning, everything, so he can duck and shelter. And
Mm-hmm.
and
I do
then
the
I'll
same
get
thing
to
with
work
my
on me.
husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd
I
be
get
like,
to work on me.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
You
good.
what?
I was just saying that's good. I do the same thing with my husband. When I started, I'm like, hey, so I'm being irritated and irritable because this is what's about to start. And he knows me so well, y'all. He's like, I knew it. I mean, I know it's about to happen. And I was like, how are you keeping track of me? Stop it. But it first I was like, at first I was kind of hurt. I was like, how don't you know? Maybe I'm going through. He's like, mm-mm. And then,
Mhm.
3 days later, I would start and he'd be like, I told you, you know what, thanks.
Yeah.
But it's just sweet enough that he recognizes it. And
Mhm.
now I'm getting to a point where I don't feel bad with telling him, hey, this is where I am. And I know what's about to happen. So, if I say to myself a little bit, it's because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm trying to be.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Mhm,
So, I mean, so what I do is I take supplements. I'm a big supplement
that's good.
taker.
Mhm,
I've researched for years already now. The supplements that help my moods, that help my sleep, that help my hormone balance. That's really important. It's actually helped me get more energy, think clearer, and also make better decisions when I am feeling chaotic.
Yeah.
And, going back to what you said about your husband, I'm a big advocate of teaching both men and boys about their own hormones, but also about women's, because, it's this whole, oh, that's gross. Oh, she's on her this, and oh, it's that time of the month, or she's crazy now, or, whatever it is. When men say little things like that, obviously they were raised and they kind of took that on and started saying it. But I find it very valuable and encouraging if, to say to men and boys, like I'll tell my son, I'll say, hey, I'm going to teach you about these things because I want you to know what to prepare for, because it's good and it's healthy for you to know about women. Likewise, women to know about men.
So true. I love it. I mean, that's perfect, because if you let men know that, it's natural, it's gonna happen for a long time. And if you
For a
plan on
long
living
time.
with a woman, we're gonna have to deal with that. And as we age, our hormones do different things at each. I want to say each decade, I feel totally different than I feel different. I'm about to hit another decade here soon, but I feel when I was at 30, I didn't feel the same way I was at 20. At 30, I don't feel the same way I feel now. I wish I could go back to 30. It was perfect. But I do want to know about the supplements you take. Like, we can talk about that again, because I feel like that's a good thing to do for women's bodies, not just live in the chaos, as you said, not just live in the chaotic, but really take control and making sure that, I have control over my body. I can make sure my hormones are where they need to be, and I can make sure I'm okay.
Absolutely. Boom. Mic drop. So I'm going to close it here. I actually put down these fun facts real quick. I thought they were pretty cool to say. So I'm going to end it with this. So, fun facts about women. Women see up to 20% more visual colors than their counterparts. The average woman will eat 4 pounds of lipstick in her lifetime. Women will choose style over comfort. That's actually, I think, with feminine energy. If feminine energy, you got a lot of it, you'll have style over comfort. We have a high sense of smell, and females outlive their counterpart all over the world. It's actually a proven fact. And this one I thought was the best for last because it's actually really funny. Heels were made for men. In the 1600s, heels were brought into women's fashions to mimic the men who wore heels as a sign of their masculinity and status. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, y'all wore them, so we just took them and made them look better.
There we go. All right, everybody. So leave your comments, and we will, because there's a little bit of delay, we'll look on them, we'll answer them. And we'd love to do this again because Janae is amazing. Janae, tell everybody where to find you at.
Well, you can find me at confessionsfromaredcouch.com, and it has the social media and all of it. Just go there. Don't go anywhere else. I updated my website like myself, so I'm really proud about that. So just go to confessionsfromaredcouch.com and you will see everything. I'm also doing, at the end of March, I'm doing a women's conference, my very first women's conference, which is crazy. I'm excited about it, but I'm doing it with my good friend and podcast sister, Elise Main. And we partnered up and we're doing, the conference is called Get in Focus. So we're going to get in focus mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. We're going to get in focus. So
yes, get in focus. All right, everybody. And you know me, Helen Edwards, my book. Thank you, everybody who's been reading the book and putting reviews. Janae said she had a book. Go check her out. Also, I got my 2 retreats up, California retreat in September and the mini retreat in Phoenix, Arizona in May. So check it out, guys. We love you. Thanks so much. Sharing is caring. We'll catch you later.
Thank you.